the Talking Leeds Podcast with Arron Marshall and George Brooke.
Hello and welcome along to the show. This is Talking Leeds with myself, Arron Marshall, and the bearded peacock himself, Mr. George Charles Brooke. He's here. How are we doing, my bearded friend?
Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, everybody watching. I cannot seem to log in to stream, and it's not allowing me, Aaron, to. So my channel is going to have to wait, which we are back on now, by the way. But I'm doing okay, thank you very much. Where is your Leeds gear, Aaron? Obviously, I cannot wear one myself, but you usually donned in Leeds. Are you that much protesting against the manager? Are you looking like the manager with your black shirt on? Which one is it?
It's in the wash. Let's say they're in the wash.
Not feeling it all up, then, have you?
Pardon?
You haven't ripped them all
up. No, I haven't done that. Yeah, it's been a tough week, hasn't it, George, for Leeds this week? I've actually got a quiz as well about Daniel Farke because
he's excellent. I was thinking this morning, I might get one ready for you, but you've got one already. So that's
got one already. It's all good to go. George, let's get straight into it. I know what you're going to say. I already know what you're going to say about the manager. Leeds, where do we start, George, with them? They've been in a real downward spiral, over the last couple of weeks, haven't they, Leeds? It's all doom and gloom. We're odds on now to be relegated from the Premier League, and the bookies kind of know where we're at. Daniel Farke is under enormous pressure from Leeds fans. It seems the board have given the backing to Mr. Farke. We know that. Our sources are very close to saying that they're still behind the manager. He's on track. 1 point per game was his target. 38 points we know is the target for Leeds this season. So they are still on track, but it's not good at the moment, is it, George? And good evening to Jimbo and Mark. How do you?
Hello, Jimbo and Mark. How are you, lads? Yeah, look, Leeds United are not good enough at all, are we, at the moment? And I'm done with it, me. I'm not watching another game till he's gone. And I didn't watch it Sunday. I'm not interested, mate. I'm not interested. And what I've learned so far about this season is there's been a long time for me there where I haven't been interested in actually watching Leeds United play. And it comes round to another game, another week. You think, fuck, we've lost the game. And lost the game handsomely at Forest on Sunday. But then there's always another game. You're thinking, rubbing your hands together, you're forgetting about that. It's all gone. The next game comes around and you're full of hope saying, right, we're nearly going to win. We might win this game. You're full of hope and enjoyment of settling down. Oh, Leeds are on the telly. Let's win. We might win. All the hope for me is absolutely gone. You're going into a game and you're thinking, what the fuck is the point? We're going to lose anyway. It's going to be depressing. We're not even going to play well. So what's the point? If you're playing well and losing, mate, you're okay. You're thinking, great, fine. At least we can enjoy the football we're playing. We can't even do that at the moment. So It's got to the point with me when I'm just like, I don't even want to give myself the headache of watching it because I know what's going to happen. And it's got to that point already for me this season.
Yeah, Mark says, no, George, the handbag can't get chucked. It well and truly is.
It's just, Mark, I don't know what it is, Mark. I've just had enough. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of Mr. Farke. And it's so frustrating. It's just so frustrating watching it, looking at it. I'm not watching it Sunday. I'm looking at it thinking, Christ alive. We actually went 1-0 up on Sunday. And then it's back to one each. What happened there? What happened to him? And Daniel bloody Farke Daniel fucking Farke. What a bloody nightmare he is. What a nightmare. Wow, Mark, what do you think of it? What do you think of it, mate? I mean, next 3 games look, I've heard Arron this afternoon that he's got 5 games left. Why do that when it's the hardest fucking 5 games of the season near enough? Bar Villa and Brentford, there's 3 in there, Chelsea, City and Liverpool. What's the point? You're giving him 5 games to save his job when we're going to lose them games, aren't we?
It's the thing is, though, let's break it down a little bit, because you've got to understand here with what the 49ers have, they've come out and they have backed him. If he was going to go, he would have gone by now. He's not going anywhere. Isn't far for the next 5 or so games.
Yeah.
So that brings you up to, mid-December. Then you've got three games, and then you're into the January transfer window, which from our sources here at Talking Leeds, we think Leeds have got about 30 million to play with, plus anything which they sell, they can back into the squad. So that is the numbers that we're talking about here. The problem here, and I have to say, you've bottled this up all week. I can feel that tension. Feel it. I can feel it coming through the camera. This
frustration.
Frustration. But let's not. We knew it was going to be difficult this season, and I'm not backing for that, because ultimately, as fans, we have to get behind him, and we have to get behind the players, because now more than ever, those lads need our support. Yes, there was some. Daniel, I was frustrated on Sunday as much as you were. I really was, because you went 1-0 up. Great goal, by the way.
Yeah, brilliant.
And really well worked by Brendan. It worked, and it worked really, really well. But when you could see Sky, he was there, calm. He was trying to get the message over to them when they went 1-0 up. Calm it down now. Focus on what you need to do. He told them what to do, but they lost it. The goals which Forest scored, and they invited so much pressure. And I'm sick to death of the passing backwards, back to Rodon and back to Perry. It's just that's just poor for me. But I can't see a solution. I really can't. I think he will ultimately pay his price. Will Farke. And I hear it pains me to say, because I really, really, really like Daniel Farke, and it's not his fault that we're in this situation. I think the fault here lies primarily with the board. That is why the recruitment has not been good enough. It's been poor. He's been dealt a really shit hand by the 49ers as Daniel Farke. They said they were going to back him. He cried out for attacking reinforcements at the back end of the summer window. It didn't happen for him, and that is the ultimate reason why he's going to pay his price with his job. Yeah, that's the issue. Not Farke himself.
I think it is Farke as well.
Adam. It's not. Adam Underwood is out of his depth as you know.
They all are. But you can't say that it's the board and not Farke, though. Daniel Farke is managing the team. He's a fucking.
He is.
He's rubbish. He's done. He's rubbish. He hasn't got a clue.
He's not a bad coach.
You say that you're frustrated, Arron. With
I am frustrated.
The way that Rodon and it's back to Perry, back to bloody Ampadu, then it's backwards till he's even putting it in his own bloody goal. That's the managers of that's the tactics of Mr. Daniel Farke. It's all about possession.
In his defence, look at what he's got as an attacking outlet, George. He's got Brendan Aronson, who's the most championship-y player we've got. Willing on to, I think when he comes back after the international break, he has to come straight back in. But he'll give that physicality. He'll give you that press. He will run at defences, and that I think is what we've kind of missed. We've missed that. Okafor, he's got that little bit of quality. I'm not going to lie. He's growing on me, but it's a little bit frustrating with him. And then you've got Nemecha and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who are your forward players. You look at the wings with Aronson, Okafor, on those wings, you haven't got anything there. There's championship as you get. That recruitment, we chased bloody Pacho for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it never materialised. And we've just really cried out for some quality in that final third, and we haven't got it. How is Farke supposed to set these teams up if he hasn't got the quality which he needs? That's the issue. He's cried out for it. That's the issue. How else would you set them up?
No, I mean, look, Carlos says time of fight to go. A new manager could do no worse. Mark says, personally think I will bring in a decent manager now, use the next games as a learning curve for him and see what players are up to it. Get rid of at least 2 we can get money for and bring in 4. I think what is he supposed to do is try a different way of playing, try a different formation at the very least. Because, Mark's saying I get money for Nonto. I don't believe Nonto's not going anywhere.
I can't see Nonto. Pirot
will go.
But how much? You're not going to get 30 million quid for him. You'd be lucky if you get 10.
I think you might get 15.
But who's going to buy him?
Championship.
You look at the top of the Championship. You look at Coventry; they ain't got money to spend on strikers unless they sell. What's his face down there? You look at those teams in and around that top 2. Borough, who've just obviously Edwards has just gone to Wolves. They don't have 10, 15 million quid to splash out on one player. Those are the realistic ones. Leicester, they've got no money. You look at Ipswich, they're down mid-table. They ain't going to be pushing for playoffs this year. Who else? Southampton. Again, they're down the wrong end of the table. The big boys which were relegated don't have 15 million quid to spend.
No, but it might go abroad then. But what I'm saying is, you need to fight, regardless of where Pirot goes. Pirot's a moot point because he's barely playing, and he's rubbish anyway in this level. He's not good enough. But let's be honest, he's not. No. But to me, this is what you do, Aaron. If I'm Daniel Farke, I'm putting in my papers. I'm saying I'm going, but no, I'm saying I'm changing the team. I'm going to a 4-4-2. I'm going to a 4-4-2. I mean, David says got to keep Pirot in case we go down, and I would agree with that. I think, to be fair, half of this squad, like we know, would actually be quite good in the Championship next season. But
the problem is if we do go down, half that team will not be there next year.
I don't know. I posed this question to you guys the other day, and I think maybe they won't, maybe they will. They're not Premiership quality, half of these players, so. They're damned if they think they are good enough.
Premier League egos, that's the issue.
That's the problem. I'd play like a damn Premier League player, then and put some goals in the net. Like some bloody Pirot and Lucas, Daniel, what's his name? Dominic Calvert-Lewin, just all poor. But what I do, Aaron, is bar buying up the bar in January. I'd be doing is I'd be changing formation. I'd be going to a 4-4-2, and I tell you exactly what I'd be playing. I'd be playing Perry. You go Bogle and the other lad on the left. Who's the lad on the left? Goodmanson. You'd go 2 in the middle is Rodon and Bijol, and then you'd go Okafor and Nonto on the wings, and Ampadu and Tanaka in the middle. And then you'd go with the 2 up front would be Nemecha and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And that's the way I'd go. Those 2 guys up front are nothing without another partner. They need somebody else to work off. And Nemecha's a big boy, isn't he? He can hold up the play. And then DCL can run in behind. Maybe you've got Pirot, you've got Aronson, you've got the other lads, Harrison, whatever. But for me, you need to go 2 up top. You need to go 2 up top, don't you? And then you're getting the support for the other man. Nemecha up front was horrific. I didn't even see the game on Sunday, but I already know he was horrific. Bar the goal, which was very smart.
The problem is, though, it's a complete change in system. If you go 4-4-2, you think, right, it will work. It will take time. Farke, this is where the fault lies with Farke of what you've said. He's so stubborn in his ways. He won't change things. He reminds me, he's so like Bielsa. He'll stick to his ways, and Bielsa says, plan A, we'll do it better, blah, 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 blah. With Farke, he sticks to his own ways. And you guarantee it's the same subs. one thing, the final straw for me, George, on Sunday was when he replaced Gabby Goodmanson with Jack Harrison at left back. That for me was criminal, absolutely criminal for him to do that, because he got caught 3 or 4 times immediately, and it was at the fault for the penalty, which he gave away. But Gabby Goodmanson, for bearing in mind we haven't had a decent left back for years at Leeds. You can talk about Farke, but he was a shit left back. He was good in the Championship, but in the Premier League he was poor. You know, Gabby Goodmanson for me is one of our standout players so far this season.
Yeah, Gigi has been one of the best players, and I think he's been a bit unlucky at times. He's had a few shots on goal that maybe could have.
Yeah, he's probably on goal, but generally, as consistency, he's been.
He's consistent.
Decent.
He's up and down that wing. He's very, very good, and you can see the quality he has. The unfortunate thing is, on the other side, you've got Bogle, who
he's been poor over the last couple of weeks.
He has been very poor. I don't think he's good enough, and you're right. The recruitment was very, very, very poor. But I do also think it's for him now, from now till January, to get the best out of that team. He very much can. He's going one way. We're going one way, Aaron, if he keeps in charge. And that's just the way it is. And look, David, how has Harrison, has Farke even worked on different formations? He says he doubts it. But what is his fascination with having one man up front? You can't do anything. Lemaitre is a big boy. But he needs people around him.
And that's the issue. You look at Dominic Calvert-Lewin as an example. You know, he scores goals with his head. It's quality deliveries which he's come in. But when you've got Brendan Aronson on the wing, and yes, to an extent, he's been okay over the last. He's not been brilliant. He's been 5 out of 10, over the last couple of weeks. That quality isn't there on the wings, and that's why I think he's crying out for Nonto just to try something a little bit different. Dan James as well, he's having a poor season. He's been injured half of it as well. You've got to forget, that pace. And one thing which you saw on Sunday, George, I know you didn't watch it, but when Dyche made the subs, it was crying out for us to make the substitutions as well. He waited 10 minutes. Forest had brought fresh slags on. They were up for it. They go 2-1 up, and the rest is history. Farke, the downfall for me with Farke at the moment is his subs, his setting, organisation of teams, very defensive, but ultimately his counter argument, we were away from home. That's it.
You can't get away with that for so long. You know what I mean? It's just poor. It isn't good enough. That's the bottom line of it. Like Mark says here, you guys think Bielsa, your man Bielsa, Aaron, do you think if he was here, would he have get a tune out of these players? Of course he would, Mark.
I don't think he would, if I'm being honest, because
he was getting a tune out of fucking Tyler Roberts, mate.
In the Championship, but not in the Premier League.
Premier League.
He wasn't at all. He was not.
He was. Oh, fucking Mateus Klick and Alioski, they're not Premier League players. Oh, he's frozen. Is he Elsa? He's frozen. Oh, what's his name? Oh, Olaf, the snowman. Tyler Roberts was a super. Tyler Roberts was just not very good, Jimbo, was he? Tyler Roberts now, Mark, he's playing at Mansfield in League One. Playing in Mansfield at League One level. I don't know what's happened to Mr. Marshall, but it's me on my own right now. I don't know, Mark. Maybe he's crashed. Maybe he's just computer systems have gone down. He just cannot have it. But I've never seen him so quiet, Colin. Of course, that's the way, isn't it? Maybe he is. Maybe he's taken some kind of loose. Maybe he's having lucid thoughts about Leeds United and
I'm back, Josh. Sorry, I was ranting there. I apologise. I don't know what the hell happened there. My internet went down, but I'm back. Jim Boy is saying Daniel Farke has pulled the plug on Arron. I was actually going to give him a little bit of credit because he needs a little bit of credit, but I can't
give him
what I
any
was
credit.
saying. I just think, going back to what you said about Bielsa, I think Bielsa would struggle to get the best out of this team. I think this team, which we've currently got, is weaker than the one which got relegated from the Premier League.
It definitely is.
It just, it's just frustrating, and something needs to change.
Well, the manager needs to change, mate.
Okay, right. Let's have this out now, George. You want to sack Farke? Who? Okay, he's gone. Let's say we sack him tomorrow. Who do you want to come in and replace him? Because you look at that list of some potential Leeds United managers who could come in. Who is the one which you want to come in and change it? Who's going to get better out of these players? Who's going to get the best out of these players?
I'll tell you what we do, Arron. But bugger the rest of the people on the list. It's all bloody bollocks. You know,
who comes in?
Because my pick on that list, you know what it is, and you know who I think ultimately they will go for. We all know this.
Who?
It's Marco Rose. I think they'll go for him eventually.
But again, George,
I don't. This is not what I want. Don't you?
No, I know. But listen to me. Listen, we've tried this Red Bull model under bloody Victor Orta 3 or 4 years ago. We tried it with bloody Jesse Marsh. We tried it by going for Brandon. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked. You can't just try and replicate the Red Bull model and make it work for Leeds United, because it doesn't. Shall I tell you why it doesn't work for Leeds? Because the shirt is too heavy. Ellen Road, when it goes wrong, it's horrible. When it goes brilliant, it's fantastic. It's one of the best arenas when it's bouncing. It's fantastic. But the shirt is too big to copy other clubs. You can't replicate what they've done in Austria or Germany or whatever the bloody Red Bull franchise is. You can't do it. It doesn't work here. We've tried it. We've tried and failed.
Regardless
we can't go and copy a Red Bull Marco Rose bloody manager.
I know they will. And Mark says Marco Rose is spot on. You go look at the management style. I think we will appoint him eventually. I think that's what we will go for. What I think we should go for.
Red Bull don't own all of Leeds United.
Red Bull give you wings. It doesn't matter, Arron. It doesn't matter about whether they own it or not. So I'll tell you who Leeds should go for. This is if they did. I don't think they'll sack Farke for a couple of weeks unless he goes. He might turn around. You never know. I think what Leeds should do. This is what Leeds should do. How much it'll cost to sack Farke? You're talking millions. You look at Middlesbrough, they got £2 million compensation from Wolves for recruiting Rob Edwards. This is what Leeds should do. If they do go and sack him, they should be really ambitious. Forget Klopp. That's a dream. All this nonsense. Oh, Jurgen Klopp with Leeds. Complete bollocks. Leeds are never going to sign Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp already said, Arron, he's never going to manage again in the Premier League.
All these nonsense sites saying, "Oh, team talk." Yeah, Jurgen Klopp's interested to take on his complete bollocks. Ignore that, because some fickle fans will believe it. What Leeds should do is they should go for Areola at Bournemouth. No. Be ambitious. Go and get him and take a big stab. Carl, be ambitious. Big club, massive in ground. Target a top manager and pay the compensation needed to get something like the Bournemouth manager or similar. Go and be ambitious. Yes, he's done fantastic down there.
Arron, he said no to Leeds one time. Now his stock is higher. Why would he go from Bournemouth, who are doing brilliantly, down to Leeds to
money talks in this league.
Nah, I tell you what, we will go for Marco Rose. Eventually, whether we like it or not. I'm not saying I'm overly for that. Maybe I am. I don't know. Who I would go for, Arron. I'd sack him now. Give the managerial position to the cashier at Gravely's or whatever, and then once the Brazilian season is finished in December, you go for Felipe Luis at Flamengo, who might have got a Brasileirão and a Libertadores under his belt, the double at that point, and then. You've got a manager there. Felipe Luis, somebody might know him already. He used to play for Chelsea. Top manager. Flamengo are doing very, very well.
when you're looking at that, though, I don't think the 49ers will go anywhere near that, because when you're recruiting managers, and that's another thing as well with the 49ers, Josh, you look at what they did up at bloody Rangers, it doesn't fill me with optimism that if they do pull the plug, that you need to have somebody who's ready-made, ready to come in.
Honestly, I believe that they will bring in Marco Rose. I think that is what's going to happen. I love my Brazilian football, Mark. That's why I always generally go for Brazilian managers. Felipe Luis has done Abel Ferreira, which would never happen, but there's another one there. It excites me that, Leeds United have been linked with Gonzalo Plata from Flamengo as well, who we were linked with a couple of years ago as well. Decent striker, forward player. But Marco Rose will be appointed as the manager as soon as Mr. Farke is sacked. And what I believe is going on, Arron, behind the scenes, they're giving the buying time here. They're saying, we'll give him 5 games. We know you're going to lose, but we're just eking out the final details with him.
But this is the thing. It's like what David said. Surely they're working.
This is what I mean.
Now.
They're working on the finer details.
But this is the problem which you have when you're bringing in a new manager. They want to try and adapt their own fresh ideas, blah, 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 coaching, all that sort of stuff. He needs to quickly, if they do pull the plug in 5 games' time, which is suggesting which they will,
they'll pull the plug in 3.
Well, let's say 5 for argument's sake.
Well, that's 0 points.
Which is what's been reported yet, because you ain't getting points from those big boys when they come up, when we come up against them. You've got to recruit really well in January, because that's something which they've got to have a transfer strategy. They need to get that business done quick. The new manager, Farke, has probably done that already. He's probably said, I want this, this, this. And they're saying, okay, we will try and get this for you now. A new manager comes in, that's out the window. And then you've got to go again. And then they say, well, I want this, this, this. And it takes time. It takes a lot, in terms of recruitment. So Adam Underwood, who's under enormous pressure, by the way, has got to get that right and keep the new manager on board, because he could say, right, what are you getting me? What's my input in this? Who can I get rid of?
Exactly what Marcus said here. And I believe
that takes time. It takes time.
No, but it doesn't. But what I believe, Aaron, this is why the buying time. They're giving Mr. Farke 3 to 5 games. In that space of a month or so, they're having conversations with Marco Rose to say, right, what do you want in January? What do you want? What kind of deal do you want?
Here's a curveball for you, George. Here's a curveball. What if they get 4 points? What if they pick up 4 points?
He's gone. He's gone anyway.
Even if it, let's say, picks up a draw against Villa and somehow miraculously picks up 3 points against Chelsea, or
in what kind of world are we? We're living in the 3D world down here, Aaron. You seem to be living in the lucid 4D dimension where, Leeds United are winning games and scoring goals for fun and winning points against Chelsea and Man City. They will not do it. Not with Mr. Daniel Farke in charge. I will refuse to believe that Leeds United will get any points out of these next 5 or next 4 for instance. Brentford are rubbish. They're not really. They're doing okay. Thiago,
all right.
I tell you what, Thiago, for them, absolutely fantastic. And Keith Andrews, why not get him in charge? He's a lot better than bloody Farke.
I'm not on the triple vodka Red Bull, Mark. I can tell you that now.
But
wow.
look, we're never going to get points out of this. They're doing the due diligence on Marco Rose to get him in eventually. I know I said this to you ages ago, Aaron, and then it popped up on Sunday when we lost, about him being one of the favourites for the job. He will get the job. It's completely obvious to me that this is what's happening. They're doing the due diligence. They're having chats with him. They're going to sack Farke soon, in time for January. Get this horrendous run of fixtures out the way. Yeah, we might be in the relegation zone come then, but Marco Rose has got a clean slate. He'll be able to buy in January what he wants, get them in, and get up the table. And that is exactly what I feel like we're going to do, Aaron. And I fully support that if that's the case. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I think it's a sensible choice. It makes a lot of sense.
God. David says Fat Frank is en route. And this is the point here, which we made at the top of the show. Mr. Whitesnake.
Good evening,
says,
Mr. Whitesnake. How's it in New Zealand there? How are you doing in New Zealand there?
I support Leeds United, and with the support of the manager that comes with that, whether I like him or not. And that is the point which we made at the start of the show. We've got to get behind these players. We've got to get, ultimately, we need points on the board because we know what's coming up, and it's a real testing part of the season now. We've been in poor form, back of poor results. I genuinely think the reason why Farke is still in the job is due to the home form. And I think that's what they targeted this at the beginning of this season, wasn't it? You know, your home form's key. They've only lost one game in a year, more than a year at home, and that was against Spurs. And they will, yes, George, I can hear you saying it now. They're going to lose against Chelsea and whoever, Liverpool. Yes, we know that. But as right now, they haven't.
What I would do if we beat Liverpool,
we won't beat Liverpool. We won't.
If we did, I'm going to sack him anyway. Well, you know,
we
don't need Fat Frank.
No. Why would he leave Coventry to come to Leeds when he's going to take them up? Why would he?
I don't think he will.
No, this is silly.
No, I don't think he'll take Coventry up.
Oh, really? Do you think he will?
No.
Does paying a manager compo for sacking them go against PSR? Yes, it does, Carl. I've been reading up on this. It's all to do with PSR. You know, Leeds had 100 million to spend in the summer. They spent it. They blew all the money on crap, basically. But they do have between 30 and 40 million for January. They have put that aside for emergency purposes, which I've been reliably told from the club. So they will spend.
What they will do, they'll spend on attacking. Spend on attackers. You don't have to get, Ronaldo or Fat Ronaldo or any of them in. You just have to get, two decent quality players, strikers, and then that might give us that little bit more hope. Because you look down the list of players now, and bloody hell, where the heck are the goals going to come from?
And this is the issue, which is why an element of you thinks, well, actually, are they hanging out till January to try and bring those players in? Because they don't just need one player, they need 3 or 4 attacking players. They haven't touched the loan market either.
I think they could have done a lot better than look at the free agents, really, if I'm being honest with you, Arron. You went into free agent for DCL. Why did you not go in for any more? He was probably the worst of the 8 free agents that you could have got.
Well, they were hoping that they could keep him fit. They would hope that they'd keep him fit and get him firing, but it hasn't happened yet, has it? But you got to look at the quality, which is where he's working with. Brendan Aronson on. You got Brendan Aronson on the wing, George. That's not going to get amazing crosses, which you can get into the box, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin can get onto the end of it with his head or whatever. It's not going to solve the issue. Dan James has been injured with his pace. You think, well, actually, that could help if you can get a little bit of quality in there. But the quality in the attacking third is poor. Jack Harrison. He's put money behind the bar in various pubs around Leeds, but is he Premier League quality? No. Is Brendan Aronson realistically Premier League quality? No. Dan James? No. Willie Gnonto? Still, the jury's out still on him. Literally, 2 years ago, we were talking of 35 million plus player here. We haven't seen that in the Premier League, if I'm being honest.
No.
No, not really. He hasn't blown us away.
I think Okafor is slowly starting to become one of the key players in this team. And for me, Okafor, when they're all fit, it's going to be Okafor and Gnonto. You drop Aronson out of it, unless you're going to play 4-2-3-1. If you're going in a 4-4-2 formation, it's going to be Okafor and Gnonto for me, with Nemecha and DCL up front, and the 2 boys in Ampadu or Longstaff or Tanaka, whoever you want to play, Stack, whoever, he's going to have to think about that. But it's not going to be Farke to think about, is it? Because he's not going to be here. And like Chris says, there is literally not a single reason to keep Farke. I agree. Michael says 3-5-1-1, play Gabby out wide left and James out wide right with Okafor and DCL up front. See, Okafor can play up front as well. So, yeah, why not,
But Farke hasn't got anything there. He needs Okafor to play in his position, doesn't it? It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change it up that much for me because ultimately we don't have the quality, and it boils down to recruitment. And I do think Farke will go. I genuinely do. I just can't see a way out of this rot that we're in at the moment, and that's the issue. I just want to jump into the comments. Mark says we need a decent 10 and a winger with a sprinkle of a striker. Let's have a look here. We need to, like Mr. White says, we need to have more ambition. Motta, Fabregas, Gallardo are all top credentials for managers, but a bit risky though with those. You would think, you're trying to keep someone in the Premier League. If Okafor gets injured and he's injury prone, we're up the Swanee, as they say. And Chris has come back in. Good evening to Chris. If we free Farke now, he could get the Borough job. If not thinking from the club side, see it from his. And Fernie can't wait to see where the points are coming from. We all agree.
Yeah, we can't see. I can't see where the points are coming from in the next 5. I can't see where he's past a couple of weeks' time. I think he's gone. They're just biding the time, like I said, with Marco Rose, get the T's crossed, the I's dotted and the T's crossed, like they say, and then that's it. I think you will see an immediate appointment after Farke is done, and that'll be it then. Whether we back him in the transfer window, otherwise we're going down anyway. But maybe you get a free agent in the summer, in the winter window.
The problem is, I'm glad that you brought the free agents up, because you look at your free agents and Bamford, as an example, has joined Sheffield United today on a short-term deal. He's joined them until January. He'll probably get an extension to the end of the season. But you look at free agents now, if they were any good, if they were fit, if they were ready, if they were hungry, they'd have already signed for the club, George. You wouldn't have we shouldn't be doing that. We should have had them in if they were like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, brought him in the summer. They did that right. But ultimately, we shouldn't be in the situation that we're in now. We should have recruited better. Like what Michael says there, Arron, spot on. Recruitment is the issue. We're so poor, no matter the manager, it's going to be an insane hill to climb to stay up. James Nodder could do enough last time in the Premier League, conceded too many. As long as it isn't Steven Gerrard, he won't come anywhere near
us. I think it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be Marco Rose. What I would do is to pick players coming from Brazilian League, because their season finishes in December. So they're looking for a move. If they've done well in the season, looking for a move to Europe in January, it's a prime time. The season's done. They can continue playing, World Cup on the horizon. And I tell you who we should go in for, Aaron. And I tell you who it is. And it's the man Vitor Roque at Palmeiras. 16 goals all, in the Brasileirão season. Former Barcelona man. He's only 20 years of age. Looking a bit between his teeth for Brazil, trying to get into Carlo Ancelotti's plans for the World Cup. Why not go with something like that? 20 million would have him. Yuri Alberto at Corinthians, another 20 million.
But you're buying something. No disrespect to the Brazilian league here. I'm playing devil's advocate. The Brazilian league isn't a top 5 European teams. European league, George. You look at God. You look at that. It's not. Would they want to come to Leeds and be in a relegation fight either? Would they want that?
I don't know, mate. You'd have to. It's Europe at the end of the day. Look at Rafinha.
It is, but Rafinha was a gem. He was a real gem find, of which we got. I just want to touch into the comments. Mark says, "Come on, guys, give these great lads a like. It costs nothing. Yes, please do give us a like and subscribe on YouTube, and give us a 5-star review on Apple Pods and all different podcasts. That'd be great if you're listening again. So please do give us a like and a share. That's what we want to grow this channel. We want to really do. It's grown organically, which is fine. MLS season, Jimbo says, finishes in December. Sign Ryan Kent and Rodrigo. Oh, God.
Who's Kent playing for nowadays?
I'm surprised. He's been linked forever with us. He'll be back and no doubt being linked with us again. Michael says Wrexham should have signed Bamford for backup for Kiefer Moore. Wilder didn't play to more strengths. He won't Bamford either. Parkinson plays 3-5-2, and that is tailor-made for Paddy. Let's have a look. The Chelsea player that was a free agent was a perfect Ziyech, only 32 in experience. Seattle Sounders says Jimbo.
Seattle Sounders, right.
Hazard, blah, 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 from Argentina side, Jose Butas. I don't know who that is. Do you, George?
He's made it up. He's got a lot of goals.
So Jesse Marcello has been looking Leeds, returning to Leeds as the manager, but who cares? I just want to touch on Bamford, George, because obviously he's joined Sheffield United today. He was a little bit naughty about Chris Wilder a couple of months ago. He's gone and joined him. Just generally, what your thoughts on Paddy joining the Blades? Yeah, I know you're not bothered, but just generally from what you think about that one and people in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it, Aaron? But, Patrick Bamford, for me, was absolutely awful for 3 or 4 seasons plus. And,
I'll tell you what, George, shall I tell you something now? I'd have taken him back in a heartbeat with what we've got up front.
No, I don't think so.
Just gives you something different.
No, he doesn't. Maybe he did 5 or 6 years ago, Aaron. Look, he signed for a team who are in the relegation zone in the Championship. So, and perhaps it speaks to how desperate the man might be by going to a team where the manager and the man he called a wanker a couple of months ago, and now he's having to end up joining him on a 2-month contract. That's ridiculous.
No, it will be extended. It will be extended. It will be.
Like I said, he'll get injured signing this damn contract. That lad.
I like Bamford. He's still living locally in Leeds. I wish him all the very, very best. I want him to go and smash it. And do you know what? He'll probably score 20 goals and keep them up. And that'll be a very Leeds thing to let Bamford go. But anyway, Bamford and Wilder is a bit like you two, says Mark. Yes.
I just don't. I don't get that. But, he's only 32. I think he's still got a few years to go. I get why he's gone to Sheffield United because it's local with Leeds. It's not that far away. Which is absolutely commendable. He's thinking about his family probably, and which is absolutely commendable and respectable and fair play to him for that. But I think as a football matter, he's just not good enough. He's not good enough.
I agree, but you got to remember, George, he had a fantastic season the first year in the Premier. Got an England call-up. Bielsa changed him. He's been really unlucky with injuries. He's been really unfortunate. He's been a loyal servant to Leeds. He could have easily walked away many, many years ago. He did. Which he did, but for the time he was... I know some do, but let me finish. What I'm trying to say is you just wish him all the best. I'm sure if he came back to Leeds, he won't get a hero's welcome. He'd get a warm reception back.
Oh, of course he would. He'd get a really...
He's not hated, I don't think, by all Leeds fans. And I know he's had his stick for missing sitters, etc., and he was Mr. Sitter. If you were reading the Mr. Men books, he was Mr. Sitter. But yeah, we just wish him all the best. And do you know what? He's been unlucky over the last couple of years with injuries, and we just want him to do well. Just want him to do well, George.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he can do well from his own personal point of view. And, but like I said, sadly just injuries hampered him and he's missed poor opportunities. Didn't deserve the criticism that he got.
No.
But when he missed that penalty.
Yeah, and he just wish him all the best. And if Sheffield United could get a decent Bamford firing, they'll be fine this season. Right, George.
If you're scoring goals, you're absolutely fine. And if you're talking about former players, Aaron, you've got to. I'm surprised it's escaped your notice for 45 minutes now. But obviously, Pablo Hernandez has been appointed on a permanent basis.
He was on my list to talk about.
There you go.
Hernandez. Castellon is the manager there, yeah.
He's been appointed. permanently now, hasn't he, at Castillon?
Yep.
So fair play to him. He's done a good job. So well done to Pablo. Pablo is a man that you cannot criticise. A good man.
No. And do you know what, Leeds? Get over there for a pre-season tour of Spain. Forget Ireland. Get down at Pablo's place.
Exactly. Get down to there.
You'll
Michael says Gelhardt. What about Gelhardt? You like Gelhardt, don't you, Aaron? What about Gelhardt? On fire at Hull, isn't he?
Yeah, Hull doing all right. Top 6 in the championship. 7 goals, 2 assists for Hull, says Michael, this season. Again, but you can look at a loan watch and go around. You can go around them. You look at Ramazani. I don't know how he's doing over in Spain. Carlos Corberán got the sack. I don't know if you missed that one.
Did he really?
He's been sacked. But is it Valencia? I think.
Yeah, Valencia. Yeah.
He was sacked this week. Would you take him back, George?
Carlos Corberán. Yeah, possibly, but possibly. It's you've got to understand and realise, Aaron, that is that come at a time where Leeds United people in charge might think, maybe we go for him. I don't believe Carlos Corberán will ever end up really in the Premier League. I think he's similar to Daniel Farke potentially. He's quite similar to Farke.
Yeah, but Gelhardt, 7 goals at Hull. Would you take him back? I think he's gone, hasn't he? He's not.
Gelhardt, in his mind, is not a Leeds United player anymore.
No, he's gone. But listen, up as well. He scored some crucial goals for Leeds at Gelhardt during his time, and for whatever reason, hasn't worked out for him. That's a good thing. One of the problems with Farke as well, he seems to have a bit of a persona to piss players off, hasn't he? Can Farke, and you just think, why?
Yeah,
you look at Charlie Cresswell, you look at Ramazani, you look at Bamford to an extent.
I mean, the Ramazani situation is ridiculous because he could have done well this season. He's probably one of our better wingers that we had in the squad, and you've gone and sent him on loan. What for? I know
Matteo Joseph as well.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's that. Right, George, let's break away from that and do a bit of this. Okay, it's trivia time. Farke in or Farke off was the title of our pod this week. And I've given you a Leeds United quiz all about Daniel Farke. I'm going to leave that on there. By David. Can you cover up your comments, please, George? Because I've got 5 questions all about Leeds United and Daniel Farke, because he's under pressure, and I thought we'd dedicate the quiz to Daniel. Fuck off. I'm gonna leave that on.
I said fuck off. I said fuck off.
Fuck
off.
Fuck off. Right. Question 1. Before taking the Leeds United job, Daniel Farke had a brief spell managing which foreign club and in which country? In 2022 to 2023.
It's Borussia Mönchengladbach in Germany.
Yep. Correct. Oh, hang on. Oh, I forgot. Oh, dear. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me, Aaron. There you go. There you go. You got a right answer. Question 2. During Leeds' 24-25 championship title campaign under Farke, who finished as the club's top goal scorer in all competitions?
It was Somerville, wasn't it?
It was. Question 3. Daniel Farke's side equaled a club record for consecutive league wins in the 24-25 season. How many consecutive victories did they achieve?
Oh, that's a difficult one, Aaron. Was it 23 potentially, something like this?
23. Well, consecutive wins on the bounce.
Yeah.
23. Is that what you're saying? 23 wins on the bounce?
Oh, no. I'm saying what? 15 maybe?
No. It's wrong. It is 9 consecutive wins.
Right.
9. For Farke, well, this is right up your street. This Farke's preferred tactical system at Leeds often transitions between two shapes during play. Which two formations does he typically alternate between? In possession and out of possession.
It's 4-2-3-1, isn't it? And then you've got no fucking, I don't know, 4-3-3.
I'll give you that. You're right. You're right with this in possession. It's 4-2-3-1. I would have taken 4-3-3 or 4-4-2 out of possession. Or if it was against Forest, it's every fucker behind the ball and hope for the best.
Well, bloody tactics. Everybody do what you want. Like bloody Mike Bassett. Oh, come on. A substitution. I do this, do that, do that. Oh, fuck it. Just do whatever you want to do. Sod it.
or just throw Jack Harrison on for one of the best left backs and hope that he does something and throw all the attacking players on.
Throw it all
throw the kitchen sink.
But it's exactly what he always does. From the day he came in to manage the team, that's exactly what he's done. He's relied on bits of brilliance, bits of attacking brilliance. Yeah. Crescencio, Jorginho, Perot in the Championship, the rest of Nonto, the list goes on, he relies on bits of brilliance and throws them all on all at once if the game's going tits up. But that's not management. That's just throwing people on and seeing what happens.
Okay, and then your last question of your trivia quiz this week is: when Daniel Farke managed Norwich City, which current Leeds United player also featured for him there?
So, can you repeat the question?
I can. When Daniel Farke managed Norwich City, which current Leeds United player also featured for him there?
Which current player?
Which current player managed was under Farke? Yes, Jimbo's got it right.
Byram.
Pardon? Who?
Byram.
Yes, Byram is the right.
Byram's never going to play for Leeds again. He only played because Farke was there. He's never going to play for Leeds again, is he?
So it's there now. He's picking up a weekly wage, isn't it?
He's never on the team sheet, is he?
No. That's your trivia quiz for this week. Right, there you go. There you go. That was your trivia quiz. Tanaka Time was kind of built into a rant about Daniel Farke this week because it's been disastrous. So there's no football. We've got an international break, George. There's no football to preview, but we'll preview the Villa game next week, and we'll see where we go from that.
I think England are playing tonight. They're playing now.
Yeah, they're playing Serbia at Wembley.
They're playing now, are they?
They are playing now, but I'm not bothered. I hate European bloody qualifiers. It's a complete waste of time. It really is. It really bugs me just watching England in qualifiers and things like that, because they always qualify. I can't remember when they didn't qualify for Euro 2008. Can you remember that?
Yes. And it was Steve McLaren.
It was the Wally with the brolly.
The Wally with the brolly and the
Wally with the brolly.
The man is, yes, of course. And now he's
Is
he
the Jamaica manager now?
Yeah, he's sunning himself in Jamaica, isn't he?
Would you take him? I'll tell you. What about Gareth Southgate? He lives in Harrogate. Would you take him as manager for Leeds? No. Sir Gareth Southgate.
No. Gareth Southgate.
Sir Gareth Southgate.
How many drinks have you had, Aaron, tonight?
I'd take him as manager. I could do all right.
Really?
Yeah, I think he'd do great. Sir Gareth Southgate as manager of Leeds United, I think would be fantastic.
Gareth Southgate.
Sir Gareth Southgate. You can't just say Gareth. You've got to give him the
Gareth
title.
Southgate. You might as well have wall scratching. What's his name in? Joachim Low. Scratch and sniff.
Where's he these days?
He's not got a job, has he?
Has he not?
No.
Oh, God, here comes the Sir Gareth Southgate hates. Southgate is a woke lefty twat.
I don't know.
Wow, that's brilliant. I don't think David wants him.
David, who's your pick for the manager?
I've got to wait for this. David, who do you want as the next manager?
I don't, Southgate. I don't want Southgate neither, but
That's really tickled me. That Southgate is a what? So you know Southgate is a walk left. Oh God, I love this show. I really do. I do love it. Thank you to everybody who's watched us on YouTube this evening, rather than watching England, because it's just dreadful. Bielsa put Leeds back on the map. I'd love Bielsa to come back, Michael. I really, really would. But he's off to the World Cup next year. I don't think there's anywhere he would come back to Leeds. I think his time.
Don't Bielsa it was what it was when it was. Don't
it was
put it
I
back.
don't think you can replicate it. If I'm being honest.
Cannot. And just like a couple of was it last international break? Uruguay played Dominican Republic, didn't it? And there was a lovely photo of Bielsa with Firpo. That was nice to see.
Yeah, the problem when you go back for somebody as good as that, you don't want to ruin it again. What Leeds should do is they should get him back anyway, just to give him a hero's welcome. Bring back Neil Warnock. Listen, those old boys, your Warnocks, your Pardew's, your Allardyces, those old boys are done. They won't ever get a job back again in management. They're done.
Allardyce was... was tipped for Wolves, wasn't he, before Edwards got it?
Yeah, but he again, I think, I listen to his pod now and then, and he's past it now. He really has. Bring back David O'Leary. Not Martin O'Neill. He's up at Celtic. Bring back David O'Leary.
Is Martin O'Neill at the Celtic? Has he got the Celtic job?
Yeah, he's up there. What? That old guy's back up there.
That's a throwback, isn't it? Gosh.
It is. David O'Leary. Again, Mark, he'll never replicate what he's done already for Leeds. He got to the Champions League semi-final. He won't. I don't think he could replicate that again. He was close. When Peter Reid came in back in 2003 or whenever it was, it was, he kept us in with his teeth in. We should have gone down then probably. I don't think he'd do well in a relegation battle. He struggled at Villa, if you remember, Josh. Can you remember that?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he struggled with Villa. David O'Leary was great, thoh. David O'Leary was the manager
he'd never replicate. We grew up with him, George. Getting to that level again, it just becomes bad press for him, because you just think if he comes back, just won't struggle.
David O'Leary will never come back. He hasn't managed for years and years and years.
He's a pundit in the Middle East, isn't he, somewhere? I was always at Arsenal games.
He's not.
Lampard, no, we don't want him. Liam Cooper should be our manager, Jimbo. But listen, why not? Johnny Howson already is the under-23 managers. Bearing in mind, I watched them the other day against Accrington Stanley on Sky Plus or whatever it's called these days. And my
Accrington Stanley? Who are they exactly?
They were poor with the under-23s. Johnny Howson wasn't even playing in that one.
He was playing?
He wasn't. No, he wasn't.
So he was managing them.
They lost 2-1. Harry Gray, though, got on the score sheet. Leeds said Gerrard would bring all his Champions League players as manager. Stevie Gerrard. Stevie Gerrard.
What
for
about
you, George?
What about what's his name? Garcia.
Javi Garcia. Is it Javi Garcia?
No, Garcia. Luis Garcia.
All right. Yeah. What about him?
We'll bring him as the manager.
No. Javi Garcia, by the way, is back at Watford, and he's
Garcia, Luis Garcia, not Javi Garcia.
Yeah, Leeds says he's got more pull than Farke.
I'm not going to mention that.
Go on.
No.
No. There you go. We will see.
It'd be controversial, wouldn't it?
Go on. What's controversial? There you go. David
Dallas.
Dallas.
Dallas is the manager. Dallas doesn't manage. Might as well have Pablo Hernandez as the manager then.
Maybe about Pablo Hernandez and
Hey,
Stuart
Aaron,
Dallas.
what about Harry Kewell as the manager?
Is he managing these days?
I don't know.
Is he? Don't know. I'm sure he was managing in League One.
Yeah, it was at Crawley, wasn't he, or somewhere?
That's it, yeah. And Mark says, if you brought somebody like Gerrard in, he'd attract players. Yeah, you would get players who want to come and play for Gerrard. So who knows, maybe the 49ers are looking at that. But
you're going to get Marco Rossi as the manager. That.
If for whatever reason, guys, for those who are watching on YouTube, if for whatever reason Mr. Farke was sacked, we would give you our reaction the minute it happened. Well, not the minute, within the afternoon of it happening, if he was, but we will see. But
when he
stands,
will,
if he does, you might listen. You never know. You never know, George. Right, George. Let's leave it there. Thank you to everybody who's watched us live on YouTube this evening. Don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe, and go and check out the Bearded Peacock stuff as well. After George has started populating that back up, and we'll be back next week. We'll be previewing the Aston Villa game and probably reacting to George ranting about Daniel Farke again, because he'll be building up some more tension to let loose his steam on this one. But thank you to everybody who's watched, and we will see you next week for Talking Leeds. We'll see you then. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. See you later.
See you later.